Oh, this is a bit more in it, a bit of sunshine. Miserable rainy piss that was this morning. Interesting. Let's get out the cluster. Then so it's been about a year since I first bought the VFR, more or less. I thought I'd go through the reasons of why I chose it, what I've done with it, and am I gonna keep it? Well, the answer is yes, so we'll just get that out of the way straight away. Yes, I am. Right, when it comes to the VFR lineup, you've got three main categories. You've got the 750, the 800FI, and then you've got the Vtec versions. Right? This one being sort of the red-headed stepchild. That's right, just indicate as you're turning, we'll just guess what you're doing. With the, it's got the jerky on-off Vtec, but I honestly don't mind that because if you can get one with low enough decent mileage, you can get them for price, bargain. And this was around 2,500 if I remember correctly, which I probably don't. With less, I think it had like 25,000 on the clock when I bought it, maybe in around that. So I'll put around 2k or more within the 12 months. The reason why I picked this version was I like the 800FI because you've got the gear driven cams that sound lovely. But you see the thing, so I like the single-sided swing arm, but I don't like the fact that you've got the big exhaust in the way. So with the Vtec versions, you've got the twin under-seat exhausts, the heated seats, if you will. You've also got the built-in lights. Is he gonna nod? No, he isn't. What a soft spot. Wait, wanker. Sorry, I promised myself I would stay on target. So you've got the built-in indicators on like the light cluster, and the fairing's a little bit more pointy on the VFR Vtec version than it is on the 800FI. I like that. I like the look of it just a little bit better. And the Vtec, as you know, admittedly, it's a bit of a gimmick-ish. Although it does add power after 7,000 revs. It's not going to rip your arms off, but you will notice it. So it means when you want some extra power to overtake, it is there. But when you're doing speeds like this, you're not going to be burning through fuel. And it's going to be a little bit easier to handle. And a little bit quieter as well, whether you like that or not. It's up to you. People have said, and I have read online about, oh, it's too top heavy, so you'll fall over at low speeds, and that is just that's a flat out skill issue, nothing more. And the jerky on-off throttle response, again, that's use the clutch and brake. Those sort of jerky motions essentially go away. Also adjust your lever, your throttle lever better. Makes a world of difference, especially when they are older models. It may never have been done. So if you've got like a lot of free play in the lever, that can add a lot to a jerkiness or a poor like throttle response in general. I have used this bike. Oh, come on, what just fucking absolute pleb. Move over, knob end. Absolute pleb. I could have got through those lights. But no, I'm just gonna block you in. Some car drivers. But yeah, for like filtering, and because I use it mainly for at the moment, I use it mainly for commuting, because my commute is like town riding, some back roads and city riding, or I can go like a dual carriageway, so faster moving roads. And I need a bike, or a bike that does all of them quite nicely. And filtering wise, don't really have many problems with filtering. Obviously there are gaps that you can and can't get through. It's not necessarily like the end of the world. Probably not going to get through, or I could if I just waddle it through. I just don't want to hit anyone's wing mirrors. Park in the special VFR box and assert some dominance. So you get like filtering. Again, it's a bit of a skill issue. Anyone with a good amount of slow speed control is not going to have problems filtering on almost any bike, with perhaps exceptions of, you know, things like gold wings or big old baggers and stuff like that. When you've got like, some of the larger sports tourers, like the ZZRs and stuff like that, are huge in size of engine and dimensions. It's like the VFR is just a little bit nippier, but the ergonomics are much more comfortable to live with on a daily basis. A lot of that goes to the fact that this bike has had the risers, like the Moto CNC ones, so you're a little bit more upright than normal. But I find the seating position incredibly comfortable. I have gone hundreds of miles on this without feeling a desire to get off for a break. I normally have problems just needing to take my helmet off before I get any back problems or leg problems, with the exceptions of mainly back roads and those country roads that tend to be a lot bumpier. Just might be my poor old body, not necessarily like a bike thing, but I tend to find that along on the back roads really builds up an ache in the lower spinal. Come on then, knobhead. I would recommend the VFR to anyone. With the luggage set you can get for it, the hard luggage, you're set for touring. I went on a little camping holiday in Wales last year. I just strapped a tent to the back, filled my panniers, and off I went. Even had a surprise hairpin at one point. Just handled it. I mean, this bike hasn't got traction control or ABS. It doesn't even have the link brake system anymore. I found out recently that's been disconnected. I had no idea. But then again, I'd never used the back brake anyway, so how would I know? In terms of power, I believe they were around 100 brake when they first came out. I mean, I know this has got some mods. It's got the Delkovich exhaust, and it's had the pair mod and the flapper valves and all the other gubbins. I can't see it pushing more than 100 though, to be honest. It just sounds nice on the overrun as well. And you've got that famous Honda reliability to go with it. When it comes to filtering and low speed maneuvers, you do have to pay attention. It's a bit of a heavier bike than a lot of modern nakeds and stuff like that. So you do have to put some effort in. But it's not an arduous task. You don't finish it. I was wondering what was going on here. You don't finish your commute absolutely knackered. I mean, sometimes your hands might be a little bit sore because, as I said, you've got to work the brake, clutch and accelerator a fair bit to make sure that the pickup's smooth, because if you don't, you will get it like being on-off snatchy. But that's true to a lot of bikes that I've heard with the Euro something. So when you roll off the throttle, it cuts all fuel, so it's literally no fuel. I've never lost traction, and I'm out in the wet quite a lot. Power wheelied once or twice, not massive, just a little bit of air under the front tyre, and I've never overshot or locked up when braking, but I don't think I've ever really had to try and full on emergency brake. So I think it would make a decent first bike. I mean, if you've passed your test, you've got a bike that's more than fast enough for any kind of riding that you want to do, and it can handle low speed town driving. I wouldn't buy it if you were never going to go. If it was just going to be a pure commuter, then I'd probably look for something a bit smaller, maybe with a Royal Enfield sticker on, something that's never going to go very fast or very far. I'm kidding, not really. I mean, listen to the overrun. Oh, beautiful. Just paying attention at this point because there's usually a bit of people jumping around the lanes. If you get anyone overshooting the lights from the right hand side, it tends to clog up the junction, so people are trying to go around cars and all sorts of stuff. Nightmare. If you're looking for a pure thoroughbred litre bike, race machine, or a 600cc screamer, then this isn't going to be the bike for you. But for just, I've heard a lot of people say it's jack of all trades, master of none. It's good at almost everything. I wouldn't take it off-road, but it's not the best at everything. But apart from perhaps looking at some off-road riding, I don't feel a need to buy another bike, to have that second bike for, oh, I don't need another bike to go touring because this will handle it just fine. I don't need another bike for back roads riding because this will handle it just fine. Uh-oh. Kicker into neutral. I mean, subjectively, the looks are amazing. You may not think so, but feel free to be wrong. That is the beauty of life and free will. That you can hit 70 miles an hour on this without ever going near Vtec. So if you want to have something that's decent on miles per gallon and still be quick and do the speeds that you needed to do, the VFR is the way to go. I would like at some point, I don't know whether to buy like this, one of the 750s or the old 800 FIs. I say FIs because I just can't be bothered to mess around with carbs too much. See, I didn't go past the first one. That usually bites me in the arse when I don't either. I mean, I did see the YouTuber that he turned a Hayabusa, I think it was a Hayabusa, into an adventure bike. He basically just put knobblies, I think he raised it and put a load of knobblies on it. But I even then, no. Fairing's a bit of a, it's one of those things, isn't it? When you get a bike with a big old chunk of fairing on, any job becomes, ugh, could take the fairing off, all the little clips and bits. But I think, you know, the looks of it, it holds up next to a lot of modern bikes. You know, especially this Vtec version with like this, just the style of it being a bit angular. I mean, as far as, you know, what I plan to do with it, you know, for the future, so I've got no real desire to get rid of this bike at all. I mean, the phrase "ride it till the wheels fall off," but I don't really want to do that either. I want to keep it in like good condition. I mean, I'd like to see if I could push it over 100,000 miles. Maybe Europe on it, or something like, you know, a few long haul trips. So to say, I've been out on like a couple of tours. One I went camping in Wales, and another was a weekend away in Cumbria. But that was at a like a B&B, or what are they called when you? It's not a real B&B, it's someone's actual house or something like that. One of them, you know, and it munches the miles, munches them. Easy, fella, easy. It's the popo. Oh yeah, that's a good point. The old Prince Charles has been in Southport, so I am hoping the traffic isn't going to be bad. I mean, there has been one issue with filtering, just the one. Fuck. But I mean, the thing to note is it's not, I hesitate to say a fast bike, because, you know, it's still an 800cc V4. It is fast. You'll beat the vast majority of cars who try to play little city beat you off the line games. And with the V4 you've got a bit of that low down torque to boot. I mean, proper fast cars, no, not a chance. The engine sound is an acquired taste. The V4, I think it's a little bit harsh compared to some like some bikes have got more of a lower down rumble, and V4s tend to be quite a harsh noise to it. And I'll show you in the Vtec. Ow. I mean, I definitely think the bikes are destined to be future classics. I mean, there are no other Vtec bikes. I suppose you've got the 1200s, but I think they are quite a large departure from what I feel makes the sort of the VFR line special. I don't know, I think that they've gone too heavy. I mean, it would have been better, I think, for Honda to make, like maybe like 1000cc VFR, more sport oriented, more sport based with touring capabilities, as opposed to trying to join the big ADV market when you've got things like the African Twin already and the Transalt, although that's just only just re-released. Yeah, so probably not the best review out there, but I do love the bike. It isn't just like a gimmick thing that I keep saying I love the VFR, even though I secretly think it's a crap bike. I don't. I genuinely love the bike. It's essentially the only bike, or the bike variants, that I wanted. I mean, you could probably call that setting your goals low to be easily achievable. But there is no other bike in the category that I would prefer to own, new or old. There's no other sport bike or like sport touring bike that I would consider. The only things I'm really looking at the moment are more off-road based bikes. Oh, there we go. It's time for the outro. I don't have one. No, I don't have one.